What up, everyone? I am the Comic Outlaw, coming to you from parts unknown, out there in that ozone, if you know what I mean. And a while back I did this show explaining the Black Lantern ring, so I thought I'd explain other colors, and I would start with the orange ring, the Ring of Avarice. Its primary user is Larfleeze in that DC reality, I should say. There's different realities, and there's all kinds of different people, and that get the ring, and da 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 da. You know, it is one man's reality is another man's treasure, and another man's garbage, and da 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 da. But anyways, the orange ring has very certain qualities and principles. Now, the upside. There's usually one person that wears the orange ring, so your charge is ultra, and we're talking like a millions ultra. So that gives you all the power of the Lantern Corps. And the interesting thing about Larfleeze is that he's actually kills people that have come to kill or to steal his stuff, and he turns them into like construct slaves, which I found interesting. So he even consumes them mind, body, and soul, and turns them into constructs. And yes, there has been certain constructs that have had their own will, so to speak. In the DC reality, the only one that has ever achieved the other ring is, let me see, Lex Luthor, and which was a really cool part in Blackest Night. The zombies, all the people that Lex has may or may not have screwed over the years have come for him, and at that moment of his death, the ring just lands on him. He's like, mine. Oh man, I love a good villain story. And Lex, man, you are one of the kings, brother. Lex Luthor. May have to do a whole show on him. But it led him on a quest for the ring after Blackest Night. I don't think he ever really got it again. I would have been interested to see what would happen if he actually did. Um, in Blackest Night, he gave some deposition when he was holding the battery about how it's an alien computer, and it's interesting the construct, of course, for it because there's different creatures, I guess you could say. Parallax, for example, is an insect. The being a will is like a well, and of course, avarice is a snake. And it ends up being all consuming. When you're wearing the ring, you have a hunger that you just cannot satisfy. You're hollow. You want more and more and more and more and more and more. The ring made an appearance in that Green Lantern series, which I thought sucked that it was canceled. I mean, sure, the theme song was a little much, but the storyline was great, and it had Guy Gardner. It had Guy Gardner. I mean, I love the show. I mean, we never even got to see Sinestro wearing the yellow ring. It sucked. Matter of fact, the only yellow rings in that were like the rocks. I don't know. The show had so much more potential. It kind of sucks that it was taken away. But there was one great episode where it featured Larfleeze and the orange ring, and how it kind of fallen into possession of the different rings. And because there are other orange rings, Larfleeze just hoards them all. Generates the power through his one ring and the battery. Like I said, it's a wonderful show. Larfleeze was actually based off a Muppet idea um, during the wonderful time of Jeff Johns. God bless that man. He's done some wonderful work with Green Lantern. He is to Green Lantern what Scott Snyder, what people consider Scott Snyder to Batman, and he's earned everything that's coming to him. So Jeff Johns. So, anyways, back to the ring. Yes, the ring is all consuming. It does feed you with hunger, but oddly enough, hope seems to quell it a little bit. Not for long, but in doses. We saw this in Brightest Day, I believe, with Saint Walker. And Larfleeze actually starts to quest for the other rings, as of course, because it's greedy. One of the favorite stories is when Larfleeze discovers there's a Santa Claus on Earth, and he decides to make this big list, and of course, Santa's not real in that reality, but Marvel, definitely so. So Larfleeze goes on this big tear. I mean, he's just one of those characters that's completely deadly but goofy all at the same time that you just want to see. And yes, that's what has given the orange ring such notoriety over the years, and it's very interesting to have to use. I've Actually had to wear it for a short time. The power rush is amazing. And the lust for chicken and nuggets was just ooh, good old French fries and Dr. Pepper. I couldn't get enough. You can't. I tell you, that ring is pure greed. But yes, indeed, that is the orange ring of avarice. Worn by Lars Lees and most notably my main man Lex Luthor. But as always, this is the Comic Outlaw, going here, there, and everywhere, dropping that knowledge from one reality to another. So hit me up if you got a question. Me, your yellow wearing ring brother. Fight the power. And I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.